Better now than I was. I'm experienced now, professional. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. All of you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I've noticed, like, outside of like top players like you and the EU region, people aren't too thirsty to compete, or they don't really take it seriously. But
Like, I remember when we were doing the Skyness tournaments, one of the things that used to bug me is when, like, I tell players next Saturday, please show up. Like, tell me before that you cannot participate so that I can find someone else. Do not tell me you're not participating in the middle of a tournament. And while he's streaming and there's 100 viewers are watching. Like,
bro, you get
don't put me in this situation like where I don't know what to do. I don't know if I like people. First of all, viewers should not wait. That's the thing, you know. Viewers under any circumstance should not be waiting. They should have their tournament ready and set up, and some things like this should not be happening. So just tell me if you can participate or no. If you feel you'll not be able to participate, then tell me so that I have players ready to step up once I know that you cannot participate.
Alright guys, welcome to another Stormfall video. Today I wanted to bring you an interview with Flake, one of the best players in the game and the best player in the Asia region. Shout out Jao, he's the one that inspired me to do this interview with Flake, so make sure you check out his channel. It will be in the description and in the comment section. But Flake, why don't you introduce yourself, even though everyone should know who you are already?
Okay, so hello everyone. You may know me as Flake. I'm a player from Saudi Arabia. I'm a competitive player. I've been playing this game since very much the beginning, in 2016, and we are still going, yeah.
Come on. So, one question to start off. Why have you been playing the game so long? 2016 to what, 2023? I think we're coming to 7 years, so 7-year anniversary in Storm. Why are you still playing the game 7 years later, even though, you know, obviously it's got its issues in terms of unbalanced stuff, you know? Apparently it's dying, even though it's not. But yeah, why are you still playing to this day?
Yeah, so basically you go with different phases. Like the first phase was, I was like playing for the story mode and then getting introduced to the rank matches, and then I was playing rank matches and getting excited. And as long as I continue to play this game, I go through different phases, and every time I say, okay, I reach my limit, I would stop for 2, 3, 4 months and then come back to discover new stuff. Like for example, in 2017 I quit the game and I played Tekken. When I came back, I found people playing differently than I anticipated, because I was playing the game and I saw that this is not the same game that I've been playing 2 months ago. So there is an evolving system in this game by the players. Like the players love basically to copy and learn from each other, which is a healthy thing. It's not a bad thing, not at all. So I would talk about, like, in this last phase, I'm more playing just to showcase that this game can be played differently with low tier characters. Like I could use, for example, Onoki, Masked Man, Boruto, and I could still win FTs or tournaments with them. Like I totally feel that this is possible, and I can showcase that, because a lot of players feel that they cannot play broken characters, so they would stop playing this game. They don't want to play Dashka, they don't want to play Timari, they don't want to play Madra. They want to play their favorite enemy characters or game characters. So I'm telling them that yes, you can. Like, you can basically use your character and be the best with it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I think there's a lot of first attempts and videos of you just dominating, whether that's competitive sets or dominance with the low tier characters. I feel like a lot of people like to see that about your gameplay. So not only is your gameplay top quality, but you're able to win with the lower tiers, which really shows off your skill as well. But why do you choose to play with Maskman and Onoki when you can just get the easy 2-stock in certain situations if you just pick, for example, 6-pass Madara?
Yeah. So, like, when I picked Six Path Madara, Danzo, or someone like that, I don't feel challenged. Like, I don't feel, not by the player, by the game itself. Like, I feel the game is giving me too much opportunities. Like, it doesn't matter if, like, for example, I'm playing against myself. Let's assume that. The game give me too much opportunities when I play with Madara or Danzo or Pain or someone like that, because every time I make a mistake, I could just go back. Excuse me. I could switch back and do jutsu and be safe, or I could go to awakening. Like, there is a lot of opportunities to save me when I play the OP characters. But when you play low tier characters, you know for a fact that if you miss with the switch jutsu and with the switch dash, with the awakening, you don't have another chance. This is the only chance that you got. So it basically make me more sharper, you know, like it makes me really sharp to like utilize every chance that I have when I play with these characters. So the game is not as easy when you play with these characters. So when you feel challenged, basically that's the core of any competitive game. Like you need to feel challenged and to perform to the best of your abilities. And also you can improve while doing that. Like you can improve in this process. Like improving never stop. Like it's an infinity situation. Like you can always improve. You can always discover new stuff, which is I'm actually start to like finding out that there is a lot of things that I was missing because I used to play the same characters over and over and over. So yeah.
100% agree with you on that one. Like in terms of like for me, the reason why I play low tier characters is because it's more fun. Like you said, when you're playing Six Path Madara and the top meta characters, it feels like you're playing on easy mode, especially when there's a skill gap between you and your opponent. Like it does, like you said, it doesn't challenge you. It doesn't challenge your fundamentals. But when you're playing with low tier characters, you know you can't make a mistake. Your fundamentals need to be sharp, and that's how you get stronger fundamentally as a player. And for me, that's more fun. Like when I win, like for example, let's say I play someone that's at my skill level, and I pick Six Path Madara, and I get the 2-stock green bar. And it doesn't feel like a win. But when I 2-stock green bar them with the E team, I'm just like, bro, I'm the best in the world. Don't talk to me. It feels a lot better.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like it's the feeling like when you play something like Masked Man, for example. You know, Masked Man doesn't have the best tilt, doesn't have the best jutsu, doesn't have the best awakening. But if you can gather all of these things together and you can utilize them and you can use them in the best shape or form, you know you will have something good in your hand. So that will make you, as I said, like for me, it makes me more sharper, you know, like makes me understand that when I have a chance, that's it. I'm taking it and I'm trying my best to win the match by this chance. Unlike the OP characters where you can just go awakening and basically, let's say he have a green health, you just take him out.
Yeah,
with awakening.
no,
Like,
honestly, especially
for
with
me,
like
it feels
Danzo
like
or Madara.
ridiculous because I play different games. Like I play Tekken, I play different fighting games, and not single game give you that much of advantage when you play a certain character. You know,
I get you.
it's possible to find. You know.
Yeah, no, it's true. Even for arena fighters, like I feel like Demon Slayer maybe would be similar to Naruto if you pick demons because they can regen health. They have, you know, they can control neutral with their projectiles pretty easily. But for example, I don't know if you've played My Hero. The meta is a lot less one-sided on that game. Like the advantages aren't that steep. But yeah, like you said, like for example, when you said playing low tiers makes your skills sharper. Normally I play the E team, but recently I've branched out to playing Konohamaru, Asuma, and IC1 Naruto, so Tailed Respawn Naruto. And like that team is already really fun, and I just abuse Strike Back for that team. But what I learned is that my neutral approach got buffed because all those characters, they suck at controlling the neutral. They're not like Madara or Shisui where you can just throw out a jutsu and your opponent has to block or run away. You actually have to know how to catch your opponent. So playing them back to back really improved my approach in neutral. So yeah,
Exactly.
playing low tiers is a great way to improve your skills, man. That's all I can say, and your fundamentals.
Yeah.
But another question I have for you, yeah. So congratulations on getting invited to the top 20 tournament.
Thank you.
Are you excited to compete?
Basically, like since I lost the last top 20 tournament, I feel like I'm kind of in a situation where I have to prove that I still can, do something. I'm not saying I'm winning, but I'm saying I can still do something. Like, I'm really, really excited to showcase that this game can be played with different characters, that can be played with different ways. And I just want to showcase that. Like, the main objective for me in playing this tournament is not just to win. It's about showing off the game more, to the casual viewers, to the people that want to join the game and be playing this game. That this game is
100%.
not all about paying Nagato, Madara, Danzo, and these OB characters. No, the game has more than that. It can offer more than that. And it's a lot more fun when you actually play different characters.
100% agree with you. That's like you saying that. That's why I picked the current rule set that I did. I just wanted the viewers and players to see more of the beauty of the game rather than the same old stale meta. Because if it's no rules, we already know who everyone's going to pick.
Yeah.
But with this rule set that I picked for this current tournament, we get to see more of that team variety. Like I know it's not groundbreaking team variety, and obviously we see a lot more Pain, but Pain is always picked no matter what the rule set. We're still seeing more characters that we normally wouldn't see in the tournament, which is what I wanted. And then viewers have also been enjoying the qualifiers a lot more as well.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on the rule set for the tournament?
So the rules set are, like I feel they are must be in this tournament. They are a must. It's not an option thing for me because they save basically the players and the viewers from something that is redundant, like that's something that we watched for 7 years. And as I said previously, I'm not sitting and watching someone playing Madara, Danzo, Timari, Deshka. I'm just not, because it doesn't showcase anything. It doesn't show who's the better player actually. Like, it has no meaning. But when you ban Naruto the Last, when you ban Nagato, when you ban Madara, when you ban these characters, right now I can tell you, you will see more different characters. You will see more different strategies. So that's really exciting to see, even for the casual viewers. Like I believe if I'm not a player, I'm just a viewer. I'm watching streaming and I'm clicking and I'm seeing, for example, let's talk about the last of you hosted, Rikido Itachi versus Giza. And they both use in Naruto the Last, and they both have Pain in their team, and they have someone OP as well. And I'm like, okay, can you change that a little bit? Like, can we see something different? Like, can we see something? And it's the same thing over and over and over again. So the viewer eventually will say, okay, I'm bored. I'm not watching this anymore. I'll just find something else, to see. And then, like, you lose more people who love the game, but they want to see it in a different point of view. Because being redundant with these characters is just killing the game, basically. The game is, like, it's kind of, even for me, like, I love this game. I've been playing it for 7 years. I cannot stand watching Kaguya. I cannot stand watching Madara. I cannot stand watching Danzo. Even though I contributed in Madara and Danzo, like, I basically played this team for 3 years. Like, I'm not saying I'm innocent, but my point of view was, people were just playing Timari and Deshkat. They thought that the only way you beat Timari and Deshkat is by playing Mirror. And I was like, no, you can switch Jutsu, you can abuse Awakening, and I did that with Madara and Danzo. But then it took off, man. Like it really took off. Like it went for people will not switch up the characters. Like they will not, basically.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel like the current meta that we're in right now and the lack of character variety is due to two factors. It's due to the game not supporting the lower tiers, so people won't pick them at a competitive level because they're not as relevant. And it's also the players' fault because there's a lack of players, like, for example, you,
Yeah.
Poison Okami, me, Playco, Sawada, Yukino, that will actually pick unique characters and develop team synergies to counter the current meta. There's a severe lack of those kind of players. People, like, for example, with the new gen players, yeah, no
Yeah.
shots though, it's just an observation. A lot of them, well, regardless of the region, will copy top player teams rather than discovering their own.
Yeah.
Like, copying is not bad, but
Yeah.
it just decreases the lack of unique teams. So rather than actually form a new team or a unique team that is tied to their identity, for example, the E team, they'll just copy an existing team rather than looking for unique team synergies,
So
which is unfortunate. Yeah.
basically, copying for me, I see it as something healthy. But what
Yeah.
I don't see as healthy is when you copy everything. Like you can copy a team, it's not a problem. But when you copy the playstyle, now this is a problem because nobody can copy someone else's playstyle, no matter how much you try. Like everyone has their own style. So for these new generation players, they are in this loop where they think they have their own style, but basically they just copying.
Facts.
So
Facts.
they don't find like their own style because they just moving around, copying that player and then copying that player and then copy. Okay, you can take a team from someone, and then when you take that team, you basically make that team yours by your own style. Just do not use the same thing that he uses. Like, do not do the same setups, the same everything to find like to eventually establish your own playstyle. That's why like I see it as a really kind of sad situation that we're in right now, that these new players think that the solution is by playing Mod Rotimari Dashkat Kaguya. They do not know that, and I some of them asked for advice and I told them you will not improve if you play these OB characters because they fool you. They give you the sense that you are good. But when you stop, and then I'm serious, I'm dead serious, bro. I'm dead serious.
I know, but I agree with you. That's why I'm laughing. Because I've been
they'll
saying
give
this
you,
for years.
like they give you this feeling that you are very good and that you can beat this guy and that guy. But when you stop using them, the reality hits you right now, and it tells you you're not as good as you thought. And
No, for
now
real.
you go from feeling that good, and then you go from that and feeling depressed and then these mixed emotions, they eventually will affect you, and you will just keep being in this loop that never ends, basically. So
100%.
stop using people play style. Learn from them. Take the pros, not the cons. Like, do not copy everything. Do not copy everything. Establish your own identity, and then
100%.
you will be a good player.
100%. Like, I don't blame them though, because naturally you'll see, like, for example, you will use a team and you will, like, for example, the S tier synergy team that Depth developed, Hashirama, Last Sasuke, and what? Mother S3 Mother, a very good team. Even if you're a new gen player, you can still abuse it because it's switch tech based. And that kind of wins the neutral for you for free in certain situations, depending on the team and the setup and all of that. So I don't blame them. It's an easy way to get a couple wins in it. But like you said, you need to develop your own identity. If you truly want to be a top player and you want to dominate them and beat them and be in that realm, you need to buff your individual skill. Like a lot of new gen players just learn switch tech, learn the OP teams, and go from there. What you need to do is take it back to basics and actually buff your fundamentals, and then that's where you get your individual playstyle. But because a lot of players like that, and like you said, they're relying on the OP teams, they don't develop their individual playstyle. Like that's why players like Flake, Playco, Boroshiki, they're all popular because they all have their own identity. they all have
Okay,
their own
let me
individual play
tell
style.
you this short story, bro. So in
Yeah,
2018,
yeah.
when they made the remake of Storm Legacy,
Hmm.
I basically went to Storm 3 to learn more fundamentals, and came back with it in Storm 4.
Man, like,
Like I was playing Storm 3 just for the basically I did not play Storm 3 before. Like I started in Storm 4, so I went to Storm 3 and Storm 2, and I was basically playing because I know we have the same characters in Storm 4, so why not go in Storm 3 and learn new tactics and learn how to master the fundamentals. So in Storm 3, you only can pick one character, you have no switching. So I basically study each and every character in Storm 3. And when I came back to Storm 4, I felt so much buffed. I was like I was like, I did not know that I can do this. And basically all of the moves in Storm 3 you can still do them in Storm 4 basically.
mm-hmm.
Except for the jailing and stuff like that because of the 2017 patch. So my advice, go back to Storm 3, go back to Storm 2, go back to Generation, Revolution. Build up your fundamentals, learn the game, study the characters, and then come back to Storm 4 and then buff your switching, learn how to switch jutsu, what the timing of the switching jutsu, and as more as you like keep going and doing that, and luckily this game is not too hard. Like you don't have 10 combos, you only have 3 combos, down, up, and normal combo. It's not like you're playing Street Fighter, for example, or Tekken. No, you can do all of this like in one day. You can go in Storm 3 and learn all the characters in one day. There's nothing too difficult about it. So yeah, that's basically like build up your fundamentals. The neutral game will always win. That's it.
Are you hearing this, guys? Are you hearing this, guys? One of the best players in the world is preaching to you about fundamentals. It's not just me, you know. It's not just me. But yeah, I definitely 100% agree with what you said. But what you did was very smart. Going back to basics, back to the previous storms where there's no switching. So you're forced to buff your fundamentals. That's why I always tell people like, yo, if you want to buff your fundamentals, you know, right now there's a lot of guides to help them. For example, my Mastering Fundamentals series, I've got 1 episode on Chakra Dash Cancelling. And if you want to force yourself to buff fundamentals and not rely on switching so much, just pick one support.
Yeah.
And you'll buff it that way as well. But like Flake strategy is also a very valid one as well. So yeah, pick whichever strategy works for you and buff them fundamentals, man. And it's funny, what you actually just said is what RJ also preaches as well. You win the neutral and you win the game. Or if you control the neutral, you control the game. Thus you win the game.
So basically, for me, when new players ask me, they tell me, what is the most important thing in this game to win a match? And I have always had the same answer: decision making. The decision making, and the decision making basically 100% rely on your neutral and fundamentals. Because if you don't have them, you will not make the right decision at the right time. Because sometimes you would do switch jutsu when you should be doing counter, for example. But if you don't have the right fundamentals, if you don't have the right neutral game, you will not be able to do that on time. Because your brain is basically faster than your hands. So your hands are just, doing what your brain telling them. So you just press whatever comes to your mind, you just press it. But if your fundamentals and if your neutral game is at a high level, you will anticipate what is the right decision in that moment. And I always tell them, if you feel that you didn't make the right decision, just go back, watch the match, and study it.
Correct.
What should have done in this situation? And then you will come with the answer. You will know the answer because it's not too difficult. You will know the answer. I should have went to dash clash and then switch. I should have went to awakening. I should have went to backdash. I should have went to whatever. So always keep in mind that these neutral fundamentals basically buff the whole style of yours. The switching jutsu, the awakening, the timing of the counter, the timing of the attack, the dash clashes, everything. That's why I'm telling you, like, it is the game. It is how you be better at this game.
100% agree, because when you master fundamentals, you can use it with any character at any time. Like you said, there's certain situations where you're close range, and if you do a switch jutsu, it won't come out fast enough to do pressure on your opponent. So you might need to use a chakra dash cancel. But if you haven't mastered chakra dash cancels in your fundamentals, you don't have that option. Thus, your decision making is lacking. Thus, you lose the match.
Yeah. And also,
But
you need to keep in mind, like, when you be at that high level, you will know, like, for example, you are having down zone right now, and you know if you call out down zone jutsu, his jutsu is too fast and it will hit. So your fundamental will tell you that right now switch jutsu. But if you have, for example, Sasuke the Last, your fundamentals will tell you do not switch jutsu with him because his jutsu takes a lot more time than Danzo's. So
facts.
that's where your fundamentals come to play, because your fundamentals in neutral game will tell you how each character should be played, how Danzo should be played, how Nagato, how Pain, how Masked Man, Onoki, like all of the characters in this game, how they should be played. So,
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Like you said, like with Last Sasuke, at the highest level, it's risky to use his ground jutsu at close range because your opponent can jump kunai and then it doesn't come out, or he can punish you before it comes out. So your fundamentals will tell you, dash up, jump, and do an air fireball because your opponent can't react to that. Most likely you'll either get guard pressure or they'll get hit, so you'll get a strike back.
Exactly, bro.
But the only problem with that is that I agree with you in that you should definitely work on your decision making, but not everyone has that brain. Like, you know how you said you decided to go back and buff your fundamentals. A lot of people won't think that. They'll just think, okay, what do I do? Like, not everyone has the brain to not only buff their fundamentals and decision making, but actually incorporate in a way where it allows them to win. That's just a skill that you're born with. It's like poker. I can't teach you how to read your opponent. I can teach you how to play the game, but I can't teach you how to read your opponent. That's something you have to develop yourself.
Yeah, like for me, there is a level that only few people that can enter, but still, like if you push yourself, you can enter that level eventually. It's not impossible to enter it. So when you practice your fundamentals in neutral game, you will eventually reach a very, very good level. But then you will have to hit to a wall which will force you basically to mix in your fundamental, your neutral game, your mind games, and then like mix it all together to form a new playstyle for yourself and establish a new playstyle for yourself. They will eventually come in handy when you want to be one of the top players in this game and you want to be like top 1, for example.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, bro. 100% agree with you, but that's only for the selected few. Like, not everyone's going to be able to, like, for example, with the top 20 tournament, not everyone's going to be able to actually qualify for that. It's only a select few that are actually good enough to play at that level. Then there's only there's a fewer percentage of people that can actually get top 3. And that's what we'll find out when the tournament happens. But it's a shame because a lot of people, like you said, so you mentioned how you went back to Storm 3, learned all the characters to buff your fundamentals. A lot of people don't want to put in that work. They want the easy route.
Yeah, so, like, do not learn fundamentals, neutral game, and all of these stuff if you're mentally not ready for it. If you're mentally weak, there's no problem for being mentally weak. But if you feel that you are mentally weak, that you cannot put all of the work to be one of the top players, just don't learn it, because it doesn't matter if you play for thousands of hours or a couple of hours. What matters is how you are mentally stable. Like, do you trust yourself? Like, do you think that you have the ability to do it or no? Because, for example, I've been in a lot of tournaments. A lot of players, when they play against me in tournament, they are so nervous. Like, you don't see them playing as they would play in NFT 5 or a PM session. And there's a reason for that they feel pressure, they feel tense. It's a normal thing to feel it, but do not let it conquer you. You should conquer it. Like,
Facts.
It's a thing that, like, don't you think that everyone feel pressured or intense when they have eyes on them, people watching them? Everyone does. But what it's important when you play a tournament, specifically a tournament, because when tournaments is basically it, it's the place to make it.
It's facts.
You need to be able to conquer the fear and to be mentally strong. Like, do not let it conquer you. That's basically it.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. My advice to that is just play as much as first to fives and first to tens as possible. And when you're playing it, stream it so you get used to people watching you. Because I think even Zhao mentioned that he used to go through that as well, but then because he just kept doing first to fives and first to tens and streaming, he got used to it, and then now it just doesn't affect him. So this is a saucy question, and I'm interested to see how you're going to answer this. So as you know, you're in the top 20 tournament. What players do you see as percentile players? Because naturally, I'm assuming you're trying to win or trying to place as high as possible. So what players? Wait, do you know who's competing in the tournament first of all?
Yeah, basically, right now we are ready to like all the players are ready right now. Yeah, like the qualifiers are done. Okay, so yeah, like I got my eyes on basically Playco, because Playco is the guy that basically mastered the fundamentals and neutral game. Like, he's one of the few, like, there are really, really few people who master the neutral and fundamentals in this game. They are really, really few people. Like,
Facts.
so basically, Playco is the more dangerous player for me in this tournament, and I'm excited to play against him because it's been a while since we played, since he moved to PC. I just wish that he, before the tournament, he comes back and just not be rusty in the tournament, because if I take a win off a rusty Playco, it's not a win, basically. So I wish that he
100%.
can come back and play more. Also, we have Itachi, the king of EU right now.
Facts.
We first to 5 like 3 weeks ago, and he's really good. He's really he have the skill set. And what is kind of scary about him is that he keep improving and he keep evolving. So he basically took the throne off of Giza, which is really hard to do, since Giza was the king of EU for a lot of years. So right now, Itachi is, he's one of the guys.
Yeah, I agree. His strengths are optimization and adaptability. I think I covered it in the video, but his adaptability is very, very scary. Like, you really don't see a lot of players adapt the way he does. Like, he can be behind on a red bar, and his opponent can be close to two-stocking him, like, and then he will just come back casually. No awakening. It's very scary.
I would say basically it's the top 20, so everyone is a threat. But my main concern is basically to go through Playco and Itachi right now. Like, I would love to face these two guys. One of them in the finals, maybe.
Yeah, that would be very hype.
Yeah. Especially Playco, because Playco is basically the ultimate rival for me since 2016. So, yeah.
100%. I know a lot of people want to see that final, either like you versus Playco or you versus Itachi, because I think you guys are considered the top 3 in the world currently. I think the majority of the community considers you guys top 3 in the world, but no one knows who's the best. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion, but there's no concrete, this person is the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would definitely be a very exciting final. But well answered, I like that. But this is kind of similar to like what I already asked. But what player do you find the hardest to fight? So out of your long 7-year Storm career, who would you say has been the player that's been the hardest to fight for you?
So I would have to take you way back to 2016. So what a lot of people do not know, that I used to reject switching, and I thought that I could win without switching. So this guy joins my session at 12 a.m. Okay, and we probably played for 8 hours straight. Like the only
Jeez Louise.
break that we had was praying. Basically, that's the only break that I had when I went to pray, or when we went to pray. That guy was depth of darkness, basically. Like he won 80 to 60, something like that. And
So many games.
yeah, like you get a bet that I filmed all these games and studied them for long hours. Like
That's a smart man right there.
like I study it for maybe 3 days straight. Because when I played him, I didn't feel that, like, it's just the first time that I see someone switch that fast. Switch jitsu, switch dash, switch everything. Like, it was super fast. My mind was not keeping up with him. It was too fast for me. So he would do switch jitsu and then he would dash me and I was like, hold on a second, bro. Give me a break. Like, how you too fast on me? Like,
Flake said, yo, slow down, man. You're going too fast.
yeah, and then I was just like, okay, GG's, thank you for the matches, and I just filmed them and just sit on them and just been studying them. And then we played again in 2017, and it was this. It was like we played for 3 to 4 hours, and it was the same thing. Like I knew it that this is, if I want to be the best player in this game or one of the best players in this game, that's the mountain that I have to climb. It's depth of darkness, basically. And we just kept on playing, and then after the post patch, we were just practice partners, so we were just improving each other, and then we were just almost on the same level eventually, until Depth quit the game. So I would say Depth of Darkness. Yeah.
Do you know why he quit?
Basically, he's busy with his life now. Right now, like he have work and stuff, So
Fair.
I tried to tell him like to come back, but he basically have no ambition in this game. Like he feels empty for him. Like, yeah. So, and I understand. Like because when you reach a certain point, everyone would just want to play NFT with you and beat you and basically expose you, as they say, which I don't know why they came with this term. Everyone loses and everyone wins, so there's nothing called exposed. But I know like a lot of people just want to play him and then beat him and then just play one match, 2 matches, win, and then leave and then start saying, oh, I'm gonna expose you, blah blah blah. So it was like too toxic environment for him to stay, and I completely understand it. Like I myself been in this situation, like people just harass you. So, and it's a thing for all the games. It's not about this game. Some people say, "Oh, this game is toxic," blah blah blah. But it's in all games. Like it's not the only game that have toxic people in it. You see that in chat. You see that stream chat. You see that in messages. You see it everywhere. Like.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I know, like you said, you've been through it. I know, Playco's been through it as well. Back when I used to compete, I went through it, and even while that's one of the reasons why I switched to content creation, because the competitive scene back then, especially, was so toxic. So I switched to content creation, helping people get better at the game, and even then, it transformed into stream sniping. And like, what was sad is that it would be people that you'd play on the regular as well, still trying to stream snipe you, get that one win bounce, and then it's like, I'm better than E, man. Look what I did. And it's just like, bro.
Yeah, like it's something that really like odd. Honestly. Something that like, but if you want to play PlayStation or play PC, that's one of the things that you have to go through basically daily. And depending on your situation, like if you're a content creator, if you are a competitive player, if you're considered one of the best players, it's always a thing that you have to face.
Facts.
So just adapt with it, You cannot change it. It's impossible to change it.
Unfortunately, you just gotta make sure you gotta try to identify who the people are, to stock them, then leave. That's my strategy anyway, literally. Literally. But yeah, unfortunately, something that we all have to adapt to when you get to a certain level or a certain popularity. But let's see. Okay, who has inspired you to play the game the most / change your play style?
Oh, so basically, I'll tell you the story that how I bought this game. So I'm a big anime fan, like the Naruto anime. So I get the news that this game is coming out, so I'm playing the story mode. I have no ambition whatsoever to play rank match, to play the game, you know? Like, I have nothing to do with that. So, basically, I was playing rank matches, and then I see how competitive it is in this game. Like, it's really addictive when you play this game. It's kind of, you get addicted to it, like, the sense of competitiveness, especially in the Arab scene, you know? Like, in the Arab scene, there are a lot of people in 2016, a lot of players. And every player have his own style, you know? So what happened to me, basically, these top players used to bully me, basically, because I'm the newcomer, you know? Like, when someone just comes to the school and everyone bullies him.
Yeah.
So basically, I was the newcomer, so everyone was bullying me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a stop to this. I'm gonna beat all of these guys and leave the game. So
I like it.
what basically inspired me is that, like, I had this idea. I just need to beat all of these guys and win, and then just leave. And I actually made that happen, like in 2017, early 2017. And for the guy that changed my style is Depth of Darkness, because he showed me that switching is way more effective than no switching or playing with supports only. So Depth of Darkness, basically, he's the guy that changed my style.
A man like Depth, you know. And I remember when you left, actually, because I didn't really know you as well as I do now as a player and as a person. Back then, I just heard you in the community, like, yo, this guy's just destroying all the regions. And then, like, I remember so many players were mad because it's like they wanted another shot at taking you down, but you just like dominated and then left. So I know a lot of players were just absolutely boiling in their front room. It was pretty funny to see. I'm gonna be honest. It was pretty funny to see. But it's a great achievement in itself to like come new to the scene. Wait, was Stormfall your first Storm game?
Yeah. Like, I played Storm 3, I played Generation, but I was playing the story mode only.
Okay. So it was your first competitive.
Like, you know, there is a lot of people that buy Storm 3, Generation, Revolution, but they only play the story mode. They have no interest. And I felt the same thing about Storm 4. But when I played ranked matches, I felt like I have to prove something. And as I said, it's really addictive game. Like, you get addicted to it. So
Yeah, 100%. I think the addictive nature comes from, you know, the roster, so many characters to choose from. The movement, it feels good to move, and like there's so much stuff to do, so the fun factor is really high.
Like, imagine this 7 years later, I'm telling you that there's more things to find out about this game. Still,
I know, right?
to this day, like
It's
I was
genuinely crazy.
I was just focusing on basically building my fundamentals in neutral game, playing certain characters. That's basically it. But when I started playing these low tier characters, I was like, no, like, it's really basically there is no justice in what I'm doing, because I'm just playing these characters and I'm leaving these low tier characters who can be really good if I use them right. And basically, like, when I played basically Boruto, when I found out about Boruto, I was like, how come like 7 years later I'm just playing Boruto? Why didn't I play him before that? Because he have so many good tools. Like, he have really good hitbox, really one of the best jutsus in the game. And that's basically the Boruto that have what is it? What is it called?
Scientific
but he can
tool.
call out. The tool. So try that Boruto. Like, basically, he have the first hit jutsu like not to the last, and then he can strike back as well, and he can hit multiple times as well in his jutsu, and then he have infinity combo, and he have so many good things, you know.
Facts.
But still, like, nobody was using him, so I was not aware until I played him, and I was like, come on, man, like, what I have been.
Honestly, yeah, no, 100% agree with you. I had a similar experience with Konohamaru recently because I recently just picked him up just cause in it, and then I just discovered like, yo, this man is a strike back monster. Because normally I don't play strike back because
Yeah.
I don't really like free conversions. I'm not really a fan. I like to work for my combos. But I was like, you know what? Let me pick him up, pair him with Asuma and IC1 Naruto because I saw Riku Itachi use IC1 Naruto, and I was like, you know what? He made me want to try him out, and I was like, yo, this guy is a monster. Like his tilt strike back, his grab strike back, infinite strike back, and his neutral combo strike back. I was like, this is disgusting. Oh my days. But yeah, no, I definitely hear you on that one, man. It's so fun to discover new teams and new characters and new, synergies years later. Storm is just a game that just keeps on giving, man.
Yeah. Which is kind of insane because they basically didn't add like a lot of characters. They basically had maybe 5 to 6 characters from Shiki and Road to Boruto Naruto, Road to Boruto Sasuke. Like they did not add so much characters, but because of the way that we played this game, by basically playing the same characters over and over again, we basically 7 years later, right now, I'm discovering new stuff about new characters, which is kind of insane, you know.
Honestly, it really is. Like you think after playing the game for 7 years, you kind of just seen it all, but no,
Yeah.
it's actually crazy. But all right. So who do you watch on YouTube if you watch any? Like, do you watch any Naruto content creators, Naruto players?
So basically, the main content creator right now we have is you. So
Hey, appreciate it, man.
yeah,
That's a big
like
compliment.
no, bro. It's for real. Like you are the main like content creator that we have right now because you're active and you host FTs, you host tournaments, so you always have the events, you know. So basically, you and then we have maybe Rikido right now. Rikido is streaming a lot of FTs. He's playing a lot of people. Also, Jal been streaming for 3-4 years right now. So he's the king of the streams. He's the guy that first started streaming, you know, FTs and stuff.
I don't know where he gets the energy for it. Like this man will literally do like
Yeah,
5 first to tens in one day and then do another one like straight
yeah,
after. And it's like, bro, like how?
yeah. Like it's really fun. Like I myself one time played 3 FTs with him in the same day. So as I said, like this game is addictive. You know, you get addicted to it. Like you just want to play it, especially when you have someone to enjoy and playing against. Like there is no
100%.
toxic. There is no talking bad after the FT. Oh, I won. You're not good. Blah blah blah. Like when you have this friendly, healthy environment, you just enjoy the game because it's basically fun. It's really fun. Even with the problems that this game have, it's still fun. So, going back to your question, Jal, Rikido, Rage as well. Rage is the king of FTs. Shout out to the Lion.
Man, like the lion, you know. Oh, I'm so glad he came up with that nickname. That's cold, man. And then
Yeah.
everyone was like, yeah, it makes sense. Let's start calling him the lion.
He is the Lion. I wish that he was in the tournament as well. It's a big loss for a tournament not to
Honestly,
have Rage because he's one of the best players in this game. And
honestly, I
people
think he
would
was out
definitely
that
love
day.
to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he didn't play, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was. I think he was out or busy that day. That's why he didn't enter the
Yeah.
qualifiers. He signed up but didn't turn up. It's unfortunate.
And to comment on this, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of content creators. Like we have Adrian from the NA region. Like he comes up with characters guide and stuff. But you don't have many people like that because I can go and watch your guide for Muffini, for example, and I would go to him and watch his guide on Muffini as well. I would definitely find different stuff from every video, you know? Like you would come up with something and he would come with another thing, you know? So
Yep.
it's a good learning process to have. It's really good to have different content creators in this game, and right now we don't have many of them. So please, everyone, keep pushing these guys with the like, subscribe, and donation, whatever, to keep them going.
Hey, appreciate it, bro, and 100% agree with you. That's why, like, for example, let's say for example, before I didn't have a guide on Konohamaru, and if someone asked me like, "Yo, like, do you have a guide on Konohamaru?" I'd be like, "No," but I would send them the links to Poison. So let's say I have a guide on Kieran, Sasuke, and Poison have one. We both approach our guides differently. With me,
Yeah.
my approach is I'm gonna get you in and out. It's gonna be 5 minutes, and you're gonna learn quickly what you need to abuse with the character. But if you want to know everything you want to abuse, go to a Poison Economy. If you want a philosophical breakdown on how to play this character, you go to RJ. You know, so we're all offering a bunch of different things. So it allows the people in the community
Yeah.
to have options, which is what you should have, man. It's good for the
Yeah.
consumer to have options, you know.
Because you're not all on the same level of explaining. You're not all the same level of dissecting each characters. Like maybe you would give Mifune your full time, but not maybe Madara Storm 3, maybe, for example.
Exactly, literally.
So yeah, so you're not like on top with each character. You know, sometimes you may miss with something, you may forget something. So it's really good to have different people having different guides, so that players watch this and go and watch RJ, then go watch Yama, then go watch Adurian, and stuff like that. You know, so.
Yeah, no, 100%. There's a few new content creators cropping out the scene. You know, shout out Cactus, Burrow, Ray, Flo. They've been doing character guys. I've been watching them slowly. I don't always comment, but I've been watching them. They've definitely been helping out the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you guys keep doing what you're doing, man. Did you have any topics you wanted to discuss, or any questions for me, anything like that?
Well, for me, basically, I was just in the defensive mode. You know, I was just trying to answer these questions, so nothing comes to mind. But basically, I would like to say, especially for the new players, please, guys, do not just copy people play style and just making it your own. You can go and improve yourself. You can. There is a lot of different ways to improve. There is a lot of ways to be better at Zone 4, and the game is evolving. It's really evolving. Like you can evolve. You can improve still. Like don't think that you cannot be better than, for example, Flake Gym. No, you can't be better than Flake Gym. It's not impossible, or it's not something that nobody else did before. Like I lose, I win. The same goes to Playco, he's Eric Itachi, everyone. We all lose and win. So don't you get depressed and disappointed at yourself and go harder at yourself. Like you can still improve, you can still go through it, and just play the game and do not be too serious with it. Like have fun at the same time, because it's not a mission. It's not a military mission or something that you are forced to do. You know, like it's not something you are forced to do. Like if you feel that's the only objective that you have in life is to be the best in this game, you will not be, because this process does not have any fun in it. You know, so just enjoy playing. At the same time, improve. Study your matches, film them, watch them, learn how to be more decisive in your decisions and stuff like that. So, and for you, I would like to say thank you for creating the content that you are creating. Shout out also to Skynest, the king for the tournaments. Like he's the guy that basically paved the way for these tournaments by basically putting money out of his pockets just for players to compete against each others. So yeah, like Skynest, he's really the guy that paved the way for us, and hopefully we can see the game grow more. We can see more tournaments. Right now I'm hearing about a lot of different tournaments that aren't in the making right now, which is really good to hear, so that players feel the needs that they should still be playing this game as serious as possible. So yeah.
Yeah, no, 100% agree, and thank you, man.
Yeah,
The main
thank you,
reason,
bro, like for this interview. Like, yeah, I forgot to thank you. Like, thank you for this interview. Also, shout out for Gel for having me before and basically making this idea of interviewing so that I can express these ideas that I have. So, yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for everyone that is listening right now. Hope you all have a good day.
awesome. So yeah, no, thank you, no problem at all. Like you said, my main driving factor is doing this content is because I enjoy it. I enjoy commentating. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy showing off my gameplay. So yeah, like let's just all keep up the good work, man. I do have one final question for you.
Sure, bro.
So when in regards to the rule set, we were discussing it like before we started recording that um we're about discussing about rules, yeah. So my question to you is, yeah, do you think the game should be played with no rules, or do you think it should be played with rules?
Yeah. So basically, this game have no limitations. This game have no limits whatsoever. So this game need to be played with no rules because CC2 basically made it unlimited because Dashka, Timari, and everything else, Awakening and everything, they are basically unlimited. So yeah, the game should be governed with rules, rules that we can all agree upon, and yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Like, I think a lot of people forget what no rules means. No rules doesn't mean just ban Kaguya and Tamari. No rules means allow everyone, and that includes sub banking as well. That's what no rules truly means. I'm sure you guys don't want to play or watch Tamari cover fire, dash cut, or Tuyuya and dash cut with sub banking and all the variations that it comes with, sub switch, sub bank, dash sub, all of that. It is just a travesty.
Yeah,
No one wants to see that.
yeah, like as I said before in this interview, it's redundant to watch these things over and over again. To have, there is nothing fun about watching it. There is nothing amusing or impressive in watching someone beat someone with Tayuya or Kaguya or whatever. So this game needs to be limited by us, the players. When we feel that something should be banned, we should ban it so that we give the game more space to be played with. You should not be just playing at this with the same characters and the same thing. And if you love to watch like no rules, then I would just tell you that this game is not made for it. You can play it yourself. You can watch someone play it, but in tournaments and major events, this game, if you play it with no rules, you will see the worst game that you will see ever.
Yeah, I can agree with that one. It's just not fun. Honestly, it's just not fun at all. But whoever came up with the one awakening per match, shout out to you, man, because I feel like it makes it a legit comeback mechanic. Because in tournaments on first to tens, you see the decision making. Sometimes people decide to awaken early to get the fast two stock, and sometimes people wait to get the triple awakening and make the comeback. So it's interesting to see what different players go for in certain situations.
Yeah.
And then obviously, because we banned the S tiers, it allows for the lower tiers to be used. And I feel like with the lower tiers, there's more dynamic gameplay. With Kaguya and Tamari and Chiya, you know what's going to come next. But when people are using Hinata, IC1, Naruto, Asuma, there's more variety. You don't really know what's going to come next. But yeah, but again, thank you for joining me for this interview, Flake. Hopefully, we'll do some more in the future. Shout out to Jao for inspiring me to do this interview. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Is there anything you'd like to plug or say before we go?
I would like to thank you for having me. I would like to thank everyone that have been listening for us. I don't know how long we've been speaking, but I wish we were not boring for you guys to hear. I wish you guys enjoyed the interview. And yeah, just more to come.
I'm 100%. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out, and make sure to check out Giles' channel, man.